Hey, what's up? Did you know actually that a flock of seagulls in some parts of the United States is referred to as a glizzy? Definitely don't look that up, but it's for sure a fact. I would know from the United States, so. In my last video, I asked you guys if you wanted to see an updated version of my masculine makeup tutorial. And since that was like my most popular video, I definitely wanted to redo it. What do you do when you don't know what to do? You reinvent your best performing things. Something that I've learned since I made that initial video is that passing is such a construct, just like gender. It only exists because we've created the concept of gender and gender roles. Like passing, it's really so arbitrary. In my opinion, the only reason these kinds of videos like should exist are for trans guys that are currently feeling dysphoric because of that society. Sometimes when I feel really bad about myself, I just put on some good eyebrows and I feel like 10 times less dysphoric. So really that's the only reason this video needs to exist. It doesn't need to exist because trans guys have to adhere to society's masculine standards. It doesn't exist because this is how you have to do makeup if you're a valid trans guy. I don't want to go onto a rant about how trans trending is really harmful to the community and how it's stupid and it shouldn't exist. And even if someone was a trans trender, there's nothing wrong with just exploring your gender identity and being wrong about it later. I could go on and on and on for days about how trans men can wear any kinds of makeup in the same way that cis guys can wear makeup. So when I say this is masculine makeup, I'm not saying that because it's for men only to wear, for the makeup that trans guys have to wear. It's because it's makeup done with the intent to make yourself feel less dysphoric, make yourself pass in public a little bit easier. So with all that said, feel free to just like ignore these tips if you don't like them. You don't have to look more traditionally masculine to be valid as a trans guy, and wearing this makeup won't make you more valid. It's not that deep, it's just makeup. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting makeup on my face before I rant into eternity. Like, can you guys believe how ridiculous societal constructs are? It's not real. I know we've all seen that Tumblr post about how pink used to be the boy color and blue used to be the girl color. It's important to wear a primer even if you're not going to have a big cake face of makeup on, because if you don't wear a primer, your makeup's going to break up faster, it's going to get oilier faster, it's not going to last as long, and it's going to be more obvious that you're wearing makeup throughout the day. So following the line of thinking that less is more, I'm going to use a little bit of concealer. I like this one. I don't know if you guys really care about what products I'm using, but this one's Maybelline Master Conceal. The idea is that you only put it really like where you have to have it. So for example, it's 8 a.m. right now and I never went to sleep because I don't fucking, time is fake. I've got some pretty intense baggage, but I've also got some acne that I'm gonna go ahead and put some globs on. Less truly is more. It's gonna get creasy and gross, particularly under the eyes. If you put too much, that's a general tip, but especially if you want to look like you're not wearing makeup. So I use a wet beauty blender to blend it out. Some people think that beauty blenders absorb too much product, which is true, but in their defense, it kind of does the job of taking away excess product and kind of making sure that I don't have too much. A lot of people ask me how I put makeup in general on with piercings, and it's really not that complicated. Like, I just put it all over everything and then I take it off later with like a Q-tip or something. Does ever have a cat hair stick to your beauty blender and get stuck to your face somewhere but you can't feel exactly where? Now that I don't look that much better, I'm gonna go in with a lightweight foundation. If you have good skin or if you don't have anything crazy to conceal, go ahead and just skip to this step and don't even bother with concealer. You can just even out your skin tone with a foundation or a BB cream. That was supposed to be so much cooler than it was. I'm just using ye olde Airspun and also that beauty blender. I really like using a damp beauty blender to put face powder on because it's super easy to get carried away with powder. Powder is one of those things that I think people overdo on accident because they don't realize that it can be really drying. You can get by with just enough powder to set the makeup. If you have like a layer of this powder sitting on top of your peach fuzz or your facial hair if you're growing facial hair, or your eyebrows or your eyelashes, shit can start to look really makeup-y. I don't have a large demographic of cis men following me, but this is a great makeup look for a cis dude too. Now for me, eyebrows is where all the magic happens, okay? When I learned that darker eyebrows made me look and feel more masculine, I got a little carried away, I'm not gonna lie. I use a combination of products for my brows. I use this brow tint pen to sort of draw in the shape. Something about it is just easy to work with, I guess because it's that marker. I swear to God, if one more cat hair sticks to my face. Something about this shape is just easy to draw with, I guess because it's a fucking pen. Something to remember with brows is that you want them to be darker than your hair, but only by a couple shades. And if you have medium to light toned hair, there's no need to use black eyebrows. Straight across is going to look more masculine traditionally, whereas something arched will give you a more feminine look. I personally prefer to do something more arched. It's why I shave the tails of my brows off. When my eyebrows grow in naturally, they're very, very naturally horizontal, so I'm kind of living up doing the arch right now. But if you're really trying to pull all the stops and do everything as masculine as possible, straight across is going to be the way to go. A little bit thicker. You don't want to draw them on so much thicker that you look ridiculous. Unless you're someone that like shaves off your brows for the express purpose of having dramatically different brows all the time. It's going to look really weird if you just come in with like these painted on black eyebrows. We all know the eyebrows. Us older trans people probably did the eyebrows once or twice, and for the younger trans people, I'm trying to save y'all. I always start with the bottom like that, and then I connect it at the top, and then I try and get it as pointy as I can, but I usually clean it up with concealer. If you're using your natural brows, that was a mistake. You do not need to clean your brows. You know, if you really fuck up the shape royally and you want to fix them, you can use like any fluffier brush, honestly. If you use a fluffier brush with some concealer, you can clean the shape up without making it super sharp and crisp and obviously makeup. It's more like an airbrush tool rather than a hard brush, if you will. Okay, so this is where I like to take an eyeshadow of a similar color to the brow tint thingy. Just take an eyeshadow. And I use eyeshadow in the front because it's easier to blend out and get a nice, like a believable natural front of your brow, you know? I do quick, light flicking motions that like the opposite way of the shadow to blend it. You could also use like a fluffy blending eyeshadow brush in the front with your face powder on it. Fuck. My camera's overheating. Okay. I'm gonna use a little bit of a mixture of brown and black. This is an Ofra Professional palette, and I like to add it just at the end of the tail for depth, and then I'll blend it to the front with some more brown. I take that same concealer that I used earlier. I use either an angled brush or like a lipstick shaped brush, and I just clean that bitch up. Alright, and there's an eyebrow. Okay, I've got both of my eyebrows done now, so let's get on to contouring. In my original video, I had made a remark about cream contour and about how I couldn't find a shade that wasn't orange. Firstly, I did acquire a cream contour palette that works really good for my skin because it's very cool toned. However, I will be honest with you, I literally never cream contour. I got this palette right after I made that other video, and I've used it only a few times, and a couple of those times were for cosplay where I'm doing more intense transformations and stuff. I really don't think it's necessary to contour your face for any kind of everyday wear, regardless of your gender, with cream contour. Personally, I think powder contour does the job. It looks more natural, it's softer, it's easier to blend. No matter what cream product I use, it always comes out like a little bit patchy and really theatrical looking, which is great in cosplay. There's something about having makeup on, obviously, but cleanly, that looks really good when you're done up in something so extreme. I digress. So this is the contour palette that I use every time I do my makeup. It is the Lunatic Cosmetic Labs contour palette. Similar to the concept of the straight across eyebrows looking more masculine, it's all about harsh horizontal angles if you can get it. So like with the cheekbones, a feminine contour would be very rounded, really focusing on the apple of that cheek, or a very diagonal but short straight line right down the cheek. Whereas with a masculine contour, It's gonna come down the cheekbone in a more of a harsh angle rather than a round sweeping angle, and then it's gonna go down the, I don't know what this plane of the face is. For the temples, if you want to contour your temples, I've got a big forehead, so I like to contour them. Again, you're gonna do like a harsh line, and then, well, not a harsh line, but you're gonna do like a line straight down and then a line sideways rather than a very round line. It's a very subtle thing. Like I said, all of this stuff is stupid and just a social construct anyway. But this is what I've learned over the years in terms of masculine face shapes, both when drawing and with doing makeup. The nose. I don't personally contour my nose. I don't like it, it's not for me. Even when I've done it successfully, it just looks weird. I have a bulbous nose tip, and that just looks really weird for the nose contour. So I just opt for darkening this area. You're gonna wanna darken any area on your face that already has depth, right? Like, deeper shadows means harsher angles, which looks masculine. Okay, so I'm taking this tiny little brush for the first pass because it can get like really like snatched up in there. I already have pretty deep set eye sockets, so, and then I'm just gonna take a blending brush, or a face brush rather, and blend out the harshness so that it doesn't look super fake. Okay, so I went kinda heavier than I would recommend you go in real life because I'm in ring lighting, which is really bright and it washes your face out. So I just really wanted the shape and the contouring to be obvious. I hope I don't look like a clown. I hope it actually is obvious and that I don't just look the same. But anyway, this side is not contoured at all. This is also my bad side. And this side is the side it is contoured. I'm gonna do the other side of contour and then I will come back for some closing thoughts. Okay, I just finished this side, and one obvious thing that I forgot was the jawline. Duh, you have to have a you have to have a dummy thick jawline. Not really, that's a joke, obviously. If you've ever seen Handsome Squidward, that's what we're going for. We're going for Handsome Squidward. That's the vision. The world would tell you that less, like, no blush, because, you know, obvious blush is something that looks very feminine. But I fucking like blush, so I'm gonna put some on. Have you ever seen this before? One of my biggest regrets online is in that last masculine makeup tutorial, I told people to just cover their lips with foundation because the less pink your mouth is, the less feminine you look. And I do believe that's true, but for one, it has that overly theatrical look like I was talking about earlier. It's something that maybe would still be good for cosplays, but even then, I recommend use a lipstick because them crusty ass lips, and put some good old Carmex on that shit. So there you have it. I know that it's kind of ridiculous that I even sat down and filmed this because it was so simple, but I really wanted to reiterate that passing is not for cis people. Passing, if anything, is for trans people because cis people have created it as a concept in the first place. So trans people don't do this kind of stuff for cis approval. They do it so that they can feel better about themselves when they look in the mirror or when they go out in public. If you'd like a more theatrical masculine makeup tutorial, I could maybe do a cosplay specific makeup tutorial. That would probably include eyeliner and stuff because I don't do a cosplay without eyeliner. It doesn't matter what the character is. Well, there you have it. That is my updated, everyday, realistic masculine makeup tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. It would be awesome if you could do all the gay YouTube stuff like liking, commenting, subscribing, whatever, you know, share if you want, turn on the notification bell. I am posting twice weekly to OnlyFans now. I don't know if I can say that name and my videos still be monetized, so I guess this one will be the experiment. We'll see if I can keep ads on here. But all of my links, like everything, my top surgery fund, my Instagram, because I have a new page, all that stuff will be in the description. I hope you guys have a great week. Hopefully I will see you one more time this month, but maybe a couple more times if I get some ideas from you. Hope you have a good one, and I love you all very much.